Alright, in this lecture we're going to go over the circulatory system, focusing on the main structures and the main functions of the system itself. Alright, there are 5 major functions for the circulatory system that you guys are going to need to know for the purposes of the test. The first one is transport nutrients. We've actually talked a little bit about this before, and we'll get into a little bit more detail when we get into the digestive system, which would be the major source of these nutrients that the circulatory system is transmitting, or transporting, excuse me. Circulatory system is also responsible for the transport of gases, of course oxygen to the cells of your body for proper functioning and everything, and then carbon dioxide to your lungs to be expelled from your body. Alright, it's a waste byproduct produced by cells. Your circulatory system is also responsible for fighting infection. The production of white blood cells through your lymph glands are some of the major players in infection fighting, and they'll be found within your bloodstream. Your blood is also responsible for maintaining homeostasis, right, keeping things in balance, transporting different enzymes to the site of or the area where your body might be out of homeostasis to kind of bring it back to that. And finally, blood clotting, because remember, if you get cut, your body needs some method to repair that blood vessel, otherwise you could continually bleed until your body bled out. So you do need a means to stop the bleeding if you get cut. Alright, now your heart itself consists of 4 different chambers. The 2 upper chambers is known as the atria, atria being plural. If you were to speak of one of them, either the right or the left, you would say atrium, which is the singular. And these are the chambers of your heart that receive the blood from your body. Now the lower 2 chambers of your heart are the ventricles. Again, there's a right and a left. Singular would be ventricle. Plural, ventricles. That one makes a little more sense in terms of basic English grammar. And these are the chambers of your heart where blood is sent from your heart into the rest of your body, whether it be directed to the lungs or just to your body in general. Now before we get too far into this, I want to explain that when you're looking at a diagram of a heart, like in a book or something that you would draw, it can be a little confusing because when you're looking straight at it, what is on your right side is actually the left side of the heart, and what is on your left side is actually the right side of the heart. And the way you can kind of think of it, if you draw a heart on a piece of paper, pick it up and flip it around and kind of hold it up to your own thorax, right? The right side is the right side, the left side is the left side. But when you flip that piece of paper around and lay it down in front of you, the sides have switched. So you can kind of pretend that any diagram you're looking at would be as though you were picking it up and holding it in front of you like it were your heart. But the key is to remember that when you're looking at it, the left side is the right and the right side is the left. Now leading into your heart or away from your heart are arteries and veins. And it's a good way, or it's good to memorize the difference between the 2 of them, because when you start to learn specific arteries and veins, if you understand what an artery or a vein is in general, make things a little bit easier. So arteries are things that carry blood away from your heart. So if they're going to be carrying blood away from your heart, they're going to be associated with the ventricles, because the ventricles are the 2 lower chambers of your heart where blood goes before it leaves the heart. So the arteries are what carry it away. Now the veins are what carry the blood to the heart, and so these are always going to be associated with your atria. Alright, because those are the 2 chambers of your heart, the upper chambers of your heart, that receive blood from the body or the lungs. And now that we've kind of got the general things down, to wrap everything up, you are going to be responsible for knowing the names of the major vessels that either lead to or away from the heart, and what chamber of the heart that they are associated with. So going into the right atria, so that is the upper chamber on the right side, you have the vena cava. Now written in front of it, it says superior or inferior, because the vena cava has 2 sections, one that comes from your upper body, the superior, and one that comes from your lower body, inferior. And these 2 meet up to make one big vein, the vena cava, that actually leads into the right atria. Alright, now leaving from the right ventricle, is the pulmonary artery. If you remember, pulmo means lungs, and so this pulmonary artery is going to take blood from the heart, from the right ventricle, to the lungs. Now, of course, in the lungs, exchange of gas takes place, process of respiration, and through the pulmonary vein, blood's going to come back to the left atrium. Again, pulmonary meaning lungs, so you can remember pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery are either taking blood to the lungs or from the lungs. In the case of the pulmonary vein, it's taking blood from the lungs and returning it to the left atrium of the heart. Alright, and then leaving the left ventricle is the artery known as the aorta. And this sends blood down to the rest of your body now that it has the oxygen to go, serve cells, get oxygen to the different cells in the body, and remove the waste from them.